Yeah, it was, for me, it was good to see my team come in here and fight. We've been fighting. I think that we've been pretty good defensively over the last 4 games. And I thought tonight we did a good job against, arguably one of the best, if not the best group of, guards in the country. So, I'm proud of our guys for that. To come in here and hold them and, make them take tough shots and do different things. I was proud of the fellas. We didn't play as well let me say this, we didn't shoot the ball as well offensively, but we still were able to make things happen. I thought we did a good job of getting to the free throw line this evening. We put our heads downhill and went and got buckets. I got fouled, and that was good. But big picture for us, you don't get any more victories. And I feel like the one thing we have to do is, we've learned how to fight, but now in fighting, you got to be smart. And there was a couple plays offensively, and then defensively, I thought we gave up 2 really big offensive rebounds down the stretch, and I thought that hurt us. And we got to become greedy if we're going to be a team that's capable of winning multiple games. But I say this though, we are coming. And again, I'm proud of our guys, because to hold that group of guards down, to play the way they did, to stay together, knowing that Carolina, they were looking at this, they needed this victory themselves, you know what I mean? So we took their best hit, we turned them over 18 times, and we did a heck of a job. So I'm proud of our guys from that standpoint.
Kelly.
You talked about Brian after the Oklahoma game, and he stepped up for you tonight and played well. Just kind of, is that sort of what you expect every game, the kind of performance you got from him tonight or today?
Well, we just expect him to be consistent. If for me, like, an average night is your averages. So he was averaging 14-8. So that's supposed to be the average night, and then the great night will be the great night. So when you come to be relying on someone, you expect that, and you want that each and every game. As a coach, it gives you a security blanket. As a team, it gives you a security blanket. And when he doesn't play well, it puts us behind the 8 ball. I thought he was engaged. I thought he's been engaged the last couple of days. We need him to be a little better from the free throw line, obviously, but I was happy in the short term of the steps that he took, and we need him to continue to take these steps. Like, the one thing I say this, and I've been telling these guys, and it's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks, like, man, I'm not letting up. Like, I only know one way, and I'm gonna stay on them. By the rest of the fellas, I'm gonna stay on them. They're just gonna be sick of me. I'm gonna lean on them every single day, because it's hard to win. It's hard to be a really good player, you know what I mean? And each and every day, you got to pay the price. You can't cheat it, because when you cheat it, the basketball guys know. And so sometimes when things don't go well for you as a player, you have to look yourself in the mirror. You can't keep walking past it. And I think he did that, and he stepped up today. But we need that consistently. We don't need that just from one game, so.
Yeah.
Some of that greediness and smart plays have to do with Jaden and Dorian being on the floor though late in those situations and learning how to get through it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm never going to be mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
They're a byproduct of other things, and they got to learn on the run. And I'm always proud of those guys, and for them to get this type of in-game experience was great. But now you got to learn. The next time we go and we play Northwestern, you can't make the same mistakes. You got to have growth from each game, and you have to understand. And I learned this. You learn it as a player. You start here on the scouting report, and then you go here on the scouting report. It's like you got to change your game. Like, you got to figure some things out, know how people are playing you, and that's what I tell Jaden, and that's what I tell Dio all the time. But as 2 freshmen, even through the things that they did not so well tonight, but the things they did well, you gotta give them credit. One thing about it, their mannerisms and faces never change. They're poised. They're just not making the right play at times, but that's okay, and we'll live with it, and we'll get through that.
Kelly?
It seemed like during some stretches when you guys went cold, maybe fatigue a little bit of a factor for Nate and Lance there, having to just play so many minutes for you with McCollum out and everything. Was that something you were seeing or was it just shot choices or balls not going in or anything in particular in the stretches?
Nah, obviously I know they're playing big minutes. I don't want to, use that, for my team, or I don't think they would use it themselves as an excuse. I played big minutes. I played big minutes in my first 5 years. I think I averaged 40 minutes a game in the NBA. And you got to learn how to manage the game. That's what I've talked about a lot. Even when we're whole, I've talked about managing the game. Learning to manage the game is so important. Knowing when and when not to. Knowing when you have advantage breaks, when you don't have advantage breaks, and just knowing your team, knowing your teammates, knowing their strengths and knowing their weaknesses. And there was just a couple times where even both of them, for as hard as they play, I know they want a couple plays back, for things that I'm talking about. But they're playing a lot of minutes. They practice every day. It's hard and it's a fine line. Actually the last couple of days we haven't been able to practice. But proud of them. They're giving us everything they got. But more importantly, what I would say is on the defensive end. Again, I'm gonna go back to it. They could have been fatigued, but they did a good job of guarding those guards that they have as well.
Chad?
Got another 7-day break here coming up. What's sort of the next step for these guys before you play again?
Mini camp.
Yeah.
Mini camp. In-season mini camp. This year I was, even a little more calculated with my schedule. The game's broken up a little bit, but this week, finals is here and things of that nature. But we got mini camp. We need to continue to get better. Really, we need to continue to get better. You can get better in season. Right now, I'm not content, and the fellas, they're starting to taste some things, but we got to get greedy. And as it was put to me, when I was coming up, we're trying to find that special sauce. It's not all the way there yet, but it's getting. We're taking baby steps to it, but I feel like we're going in the right direction.
Kelly?
Do you feel like you're going to benefit from you played Oklahoma, you played Carolina on the road, your ACC opener again, you play Duke in a few, in your next ACC game. Like, do you feel like you guys will benefit from being tested so hard this early in the season? Your 5 losses are probably all the tournament teams. So what's on paper right now? Like,
well, we gotta keep working hard and doing the little things if we want payback for this. Because you can come here and do this and then it don't, go, you still making the same, and it don't matter. You just come up short. So I'm not looking for moral victories. I'm looking to build on this. So when we get to our next game, that's all I'm focused on this next 7 days, us getting better. So we get to Northwestern, we won't make the same mistakes we made today. We gotta, and that for me is the biggest thing. I am still trying to find that on-floor guy that understands what I just said. It's evolving, but I got to get them to where they think like me. And the only thing I think about in these games, especially when you're short in numbers, is how do we manage the game? I break it down in tiers, and we gotta just manage the game better. Because what happens is when you lose by what we lost by, when it's over, you can look at 20 plays and you'd be like, man, if we would have just did that right. But that's the attention to detail. That's when a guy doesn't want to do it in practice. That's when you got to run a line. But are we going to run the line and be mad? Or are we going to run the line to not do that again when we're done? Like, you know what I mean? So that for me is what we need to do, and that's why the next 6-7 days are important.
Anybody else? Cool. Thank you, Coach.